Yo, what's up? Yo, what's up, gorgeous people in the internet? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, what's up, data scientists and engineers? There is light. There is light, and where there is light, there is wait, is that what they say? Today we are going to code. You told me that this is technical channel. I have a lot of yapping, data science here, data engineering there, data warehouse here, data lake here. I'm not coding, so you want to learn. It's good. The leadership bit is good that I take, and also going to code. So today we are going to code, and what we are going to code is a use case. I'm not going to be teaching. This is how to work with pandas and what. They are great videos for that, but I can show you how I work with the tools that we have on our hands. So today we are going to look into how to randomly create groups and how to work with list comprehension. I should warn you that when I'm coding, I'm not this lively. I fear code. But anyway, we are here to learn. I'm here to share knowledge, have fun. Time to code. So what I'm going to create today, I'm having a list of items, and these items are data tools, the tools that I mostly use to mine data and analyze data. And I want to create groups, random groups from these tools, so that I can host a data tool tournament for Dalicodes, which I am going to post on my LinkedIn. So you can check my LinkedIn handle. It is in the description, and participate in the tournament, and we see which tools you like the most as a data scientist and as a data engineer. But for now, let's have fun in coding and seeing how we can randomly generate groups, tournament groups from this data. So I'm going to import the data using pandas. So I'm going to say my data will be equal to pd.read. It is an Excel. It's an Excel file. Read Excel. And it is somewhere here. Data science. Let's have copy. So I already installed the packages, but for pandas and stuff in my environment. So that's not the concern for this video. For this video, I want to see how we can do some bit of list comprehension and some bit of random processes in Python. So our data looks like this. It is all tools. It's an Excel file that has just one column in the sheet that has Python. There are so many. If you look at this data, there are like a lot. I'm using a lot of tools. This is scary. Yeah, but it takes time to learn as time goes on. So those are the tools. How many are they? Let me check the length of data. So there are 32. There are 32 tools that I'm using. That is too much. Anyway, let me start by creating groups. Yeah, we want to create groups. So my group should be an empty dictionary, and I want to get these tools from here. I want them to be lists because we are working with lists. I don't want to work with the data frame. So let me call them tools. Will be equal to data.values. Data.values. So data.values. Let me talk about this first. Data.values gives you an array, a NumPy array of the values that are in the pandas data frame. It gives you several arrays if you have more than one columns in your data. So this gives me an array which I can play with to get a list. Yeah, so I'm going to have my tools be equal to this, but since I want it to be a list, I'm going to, since we've seen this, I am going to make it a list. So there is a long way of making this one a list, and there is a short way. If you're working on the very huge data and you want your processes to be fast, you'll use list comprehension. But if you want to write codes that people understand, you can just use the for loop and play with the list. So I am going to start with the first one, with the easy one. So tools being equal to an empty list, and then I say for b in this. I want to look through all these values. Let me print b and I see how it looks. Okay, this is fine. So I can get yeah. So if I want it to be in these tools, I'm going to do tools equals, since they are lists, you see this one is like list of this. I'm going to say tools equals to the previous tools plus b. If I want that, and I try to look at what is in the tools, it's empty. What have I done wrong? Yeah, so D is an array. So what can we do with B? Let me first print B again. I'm going to print B. Can I be able to extract the first value from B? Yeah, so I'm going to append this to the tools dot append this value. So what will the tools have? Voila, we have the list of all the tools that I use, which is crazy, a lot of tools, but we keep on surviving as data scientists and data engineers in this world. Yeah, so we want to create groups. I want groups of 4, so I remove the other cell. So if I have groups of 4, the length of this, of the data, is 32. So if I divide by 4, I'm going to have 8 groups. So that means that I will have a tournament of 8 groups, and each group will be having 4 items. That's fine. It will feel like a football tournament. Yeah. So I'm going to what should I do? I want something like this, like group A having a list of maybe Python, what else is there? Python R, Julia, and so forth. So, and then there will be group B, group C, group D inside these groups. So I have to, first of all, iterate. Yeah, so I have to iterate for index in the range of the length of tools. For index in the range of tools, the length of tools, I'm going to say groups index should be equal to groups index should be equal to groups. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Groups index plus a list, and this list should be having a selected item. Yeah, but this selected item should be something that we have randomly selected from these tools. So I'm going to import random, run that cell. Then you say selected item is going to be random dot choice random.choice, tools. Yeah, we have tools here. So tools. Then when we select an item, we put it in a group. But this is a full range of this. So I don't need the full range. I need the groups to go from 0 to 8, 0 to 8. So it should be modular sign 8. So what does this do? Let me just add it here. So if you have, let me copy this just to clarify what's happening here. If I have this and I print index, I have 0, 1, 2, 3, all the numbers until the length of these tools, -1. So they're 32 -1 because the index starts from 0 to 31. But I don't want them to, to go from 0 to 31 because I have only 8 groups. So what I'm going to do is to put a modular sign here and then 8. So this one divides it by 8 and it gives me the remainder. And now it starts from 0 to 7. Then again it goes from 0 to 7. So my groups will be this. Yes, yeah, that's fine. So modular sign, this one is a division sign. You can use it to divide and then it gives you the remainder. For example, if you have 4, you divide 4 by 2, you get 2, but there is no remainder. If you put a modular sign here, it gives you the remainder. The remainder is 0. But if you divide 5 by 2, it will divide it 2 times to get 4. Then the remainder will be 1. So the modular sign is used to give the remainder, and it's the remainder that I use here to form the groups. Yeah, so you can read more about that, but that is the use case that I'm going to use here. Let me run this error, key error. What is it saying? That key error. Yeah, so this one here, it is supposed to be let me run this again. Error. Where is the problem here? So random choice tool. So let's debug this. It's saying groups, key error. So this yeah, so the groups, at first there is nothing in the groups and we are trying to assign something into this key. This key does not exist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this, wrap this in a try except. So it will try this, then except. So if there is nothing, it should say this group here should be equal to the first item that we will select. So if it doesn't exist, we should say that. So this one here was trying to access this index and this index was not existing. So yeah, let's try this out. Yeah, yes, it has worked. So if we try to look at the groups, how do they look like? Voila! Finally, we have created the groups using PowerPoint. So here, the groups are not looking right. Yeah, they are all in lowercase. I think we would do them right. It will be right by PowerPoint, for example, or Power BI to be in uppercase. Even R should be in uppercase, and R is repeated here. That means that there is a problem in our code. See R here and R here. In a group, it should be repeating only one. It should appear. In fact, for all the groups, a tool should appear once. So there is something we are doing wrong. Yeah. So the tools. So when we get the tools, we're supposed to be removing. So this should be like, I randomly select a tool from tools. After selecting it, I should remove it from tools. I should not select it again. It is select once. So I'm going to call selected item. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to say, instead of tools, I'm going to call them items. And then items is going to be tools dot copy Yeah, so not I am not just saying tools equals to items. I want items to be a new list that is not related to tools, because if you have tools, you see the way they are, and I say that items equals to tools, then at some point, because I'll be removing stuff from items, I say items dot remove, because I'm going to remove something. I've seen Python there. So if I say item dot remove Python, what's this? We don't have Python. Is it capital? Yeah. So items dot remove Python, but when we have removed it from items, but tools, we have also removed it from tools. If we look at it, there is no Python. Remember, it was the first one. So I want tools to remain the way intact, the way it was or the way it is, and I want to play with items. That's what I'm going to do. Dot copy, so that it gives me a copy of tools. Let me call for tools again here. So if it gives me this and I remove Python, you will see that tools still has Python, but items does not have Python. So I will only play with this. I will not remove this. So what I'm going to do here, I've said items is that, then selected item will now come from items. Voila. So after selecting an item and doing all this, we are going to remove an item, the selected item. So we're going to do items dot remove selected items. Then let's run this. Let me remove this, remove that. Let me look at my groups again, and boom, good. I doubt if there is something that is repeating. It's supposed to be Power BI, not Power B, Power B. But anyway, you understand the concept. So here we have groups of 4 for each item. But since I want it to look like a football tournament table, the tables don't have 0, 1, 2. I'm going to change this. So there is a code. I remember it was character. I want to convert a number into a character, and to do this, so I need like an ordinate. I want to order it with an @ symbol, and then I add 1. Can you give me this? Yeah, this is A. So I want 0 to be A, 1 to be B, 2 to be C. So I'm going to, so the index is a number here. 1 is A, but we're starting from 0, so it is 1. Since index starts from 0, plus index will be X. So this will make sure that my group labeling is not numbers, but it is alphabetic letters. So I'm going to, oh my god, this is divided, it is modulus 8, so I'm going to have this modulus 8. I know there is an index somewhere here, so let me copy this, and I'm going to paste it here. Paste it here. I know now it is not here. Let me try to reduce the size of this. I hope it is still visible. Then I paste it here. Can I do this? Is it possible? I can do slash it. Yeah. Then I can zoom in so that you can see clearly. Voila. So we have groups. Groups created. Let me run, and then see the groups. I have my groups here. They're looking nice. So what am I going to do now? It's like I've done everything. Yeah, but if you are working on a huge data set, this will be kind of slow. Also, I want to, as I'm appending this, I want it to be an uppercase .upper. So there is another way of writing this law. It's called list comprehension, where instead of writing all this, I'm going to do this. So I'll say D for D in data dot values. That's the for loop, and then it will give me the same result that I expect here. Then this D, I do it dot upper. So the whole of this code is compressed into this. So that's list comprehension. In fact, I deleted it. Yeah, let me just make this one draw. Let's work with this. Anyways, you've seen this. Let me just remove it. Let's work with the list comprehension. We are now improved. So who cares? We work with list comprehensions. I'm finished. NumPy array. Oh, it should be D. D not. Voila. Error after deleting. Yep. What else can I improve on here? We're trying to improve stuff. What are we improving on? What if this was not 32? What if I can subset from here, and let's say up to maybe 28? It will give me groups that are not equal, which is fine. Yeah. So we can only the maximum number of items in a group is 4. But since it is not a multiple of 4, we have groups that have less number of participants, which is fine. It's fine. We are getting there. We're getting there. You've seen that it has also changed to uppercase because of this. It's fine. How long have I spent? I don't want to spend a lot of time. Yeah, it's nice time. Okay, so I think we can now start refactoring this code so that it looks nice. By the way, before we refactor, let me try to do, let's refactor. So refactoring this, let me remove this, I don't need it. So this is the code. What did we do? Just a recap. Import pandas, import random to randomize data, then read your data from wherever it is stored. The link to this data is in the description. It is sample data that I put. It's in my GitHub. The length. Then this is this comprehension for a for loop that gives me the tools in the data. Then I iterate for all tools, randomly select an item, put that item in a certain group, then remove the item after. Yeah, so let's clean this code further. So I'm going to refactor the code. We have seen that it's working, so let's try to refactor this. So the first thing is this, ingesting and cleaning it. I'm going to define a function. They call it ingest and clean. So ingest and clean takes parameters. Which parameters does it take? Here I want this to be a link, and I want this to be the link. So I need to pass here a link, and this data frame. Even though we've done this, yeah, let's use the data frame as this, assuming that all the data, assuming that the Excel that comes will always be having one column. That's the assumption. Okay, so pass the link, pass the data. We call it data frame. Then do this. We're going to do this, that. Then after doing that, we do this. We return this. Yeah, so we have this refactored code. Let me run it. Let me try to call it, and let's see what it will return. The link is this. So I'm going to have, here is my link. call it data link. I didn't copy it. Whoever taught us copy and paste. Here's the link. So I pass here my data link, and I don't need to pass the data frame because it will read the data frame. So I just pass the link, and voila, df. Yeah, let me remove this, and it returns the list. So this is fine. So this is enough to replace this, to remove this. We don't need this. We don't need this. Yep. Then which other function? Let me remove this. I want encode. I'm going to define the function. This function here. Let me call it create groups. And what do I need in create groups? List of items. Then I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it here. So when we say create groups, we pass in a list of items. So list of items is the tools. Then that. Then what are we going to return? We are going to return groups. Return groups. So let's run this. I'm going to say create groups, and then the list of items is gotten from this other function, and then the link is this link. Yeah, it is this one. Copy. Let me remove this and copy. The link, data link, it is that. So the link is this data link. That's wrong. Data link is not defined. Run that cell, run that, and we have the group. So create groups, ingest data, and then so it's like I'm just calling a function inside a function. Anyway, if you're new to this, let me forgive you. I can just say list of things is going to be this. So you call that function with that data link. You get list of things, and then that list of things you pass it, or you do it the way I did it. It's still the same thing. You could make the code cleaner, shorter, but as if you are trying to code with other people's, make sure your code is readable. This is not so much readable. Someone will get confused somewhere. The same as where's that list comprehension thing? What we have done? List of items. Yeah, the same as this. Some people may fail to read this. Will be wondering what's going on here. So we can be able to create groups from data. Yeah, so since you in the community like pandas so much, I know you will ask, let's make it a data frame. So let me find a way of making it a data frame. Make groups a data frame. Then we say groups. So when you have these groups returned, we make it a data frame. And so I'm going to say return pd dot data frame the groups. Voila. We don't need this, it's already refactored. We need this for test. So here we have groups, so we can do this. We can do this. We can copy this and I put it there. Put it there, and voila, we have our data frame. The data frame is out. You're seeing that Group A has Julia, RapidMQ, Jupyter Lab, Spreadsheet. Group B has MS Teams, Python, data lake, MySQL, and so forth. Yeah, so we have groups. But what will happen if the number of items is not 32? What will happen if this list of items is not 32? Yeah, so if I say that my items here is going up to 27, and then run, we shall have an error and it will say cannot choose from empty sequence. Oh, because items is empty. Let me, instead of doing this, let me do this. List of items, list of items up to 27. This is just a way of subsetting the list. So if you have, for example, a list of figures 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is how you get. But if you want to subset this, you can say I want up to index 2, so 0, 1. So it does not involve index 2. It is up to and not including index 2. So if I want up to index 4, so it will be up to but not including index 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so that is what I'm doing there. That's what I'm doing here, just to subset. So after subsetting, I run this, I run that, I try to run this, and you'll get the error here that all arrays must be of the same length. When you're creating a data frame using arrays, they should be of the same length. If they are not, it will throw an error. So here we are going to do like this. I'm going to try. We wrap it in a try except. Try that. If it fails, except exception as E. Then I log. I'm going to log this error. Logging dot error E. Then I return. This is for data engineers who are on production and don't want to break things. Just return none. Let things run. Let them not throw an error and stop everything. So if we do this, we do that, we do that, we do this. Logging is not defined. What am I doing? What's my life? Import logging. Then yeah, just does that and it continues. Right. So we have that. I think the code is ready. It's ready for production. So yeah, so as we continue refactoring this, I'm going to now move this code. Yeah. Yes. Then if you are working in if name do this, then you do that, just to say it is a data frame. Get your groups. Let me call it list groups df. It's not advisable to do this. It's not my friend. It's not. So I'm going to say groups dictionary is going to be this. That's my group dictionary. Then do that, and the code is ready. So remember, Jupyter Notebooks and Jupyter Lab is for experimentation. Then this script is ready for you to run, to put in production. I can't run it here because of this stuff. We already have this done in Jupyter Notebook, but we can do it elsewhere. Let me now spin off. I'm going to try to run this script in a .py file. So I'm going to select all this. I'm going to stop Jupyter server. Please stop first. Okay. I am going to, I want to go to VS Code. Yeah, open. Then in VS Code, I'm going to create a file called main.py. Then I'm going to paste that code. I'm going to uncomment this. I'm going to open a new terminal. This needs to be big for you anyway, but I'm going to run this file. I don't know why this is not okay. Oh, that's it. Voila. This is wrong here. This is wrong here. Yeah. So correct this equal to that. Then what is here? I'm going to say Python main.py. And I run it. Yeah, arrays must be of the same length. I remove this. I just want to print groups df. Let me print groups df. It's now taking long. I think I'm going to stop here. Yeah, so here are the groups. I have a link. The link to my LinkedIn is in the description. Go check these groups. I've created a tournament for them. Vote for your most liked tools. Until next week, peace.